All right, we got a threat of hail coming up this Thursday, April 10th. We got a timeline here for you. We're expecting early afternoon, potentially one cluster coming through, and then the main line of thunderstorms coming through probably after 4 or 5 o'clock in the evening. Everything's going to track in from the northwest to the southeast. Our main concern is going to be that of large hail. And you can see as we go towards 3 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, that's when we probably will see the development of that initial round of showers and a few thunderstorms coming through as well. So right now, we don't see a big threat for tornadoes. 3-day forecast, we're going to break this down for you in just a second. First alert weather day for mainly a hail threat. We're going to see a lot of dime size hail, I think, tomorrow, and then a few areas that get nickel size and quarter size. Quarter size is where you start to get the damage to your property from the larger hailstones. And if we get severe thunderstorm warnings tomorrow, that's likely going to be the culprit. But whenever you get that large of hail, you can also get downdraft winds in excess of 50 miles per hour. Friday is going to be a day of spotty showers, clouds, and cooler temperatures. Some of you may struggle to hit 63 and stay in the 50s most of the day. And then 62 Saturday, a brief area of sheltered valleys up in southern middle Tennessee may see some patchy frost, but I think overall that should be the end of it. Here's that timeline I had behind me just a few seconds ago. 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. areas from Huntsville down to Lacey's Spring, south of Decatur towards Hartselle, just to the north of Smith Lake, and then roughly an hour later, 3 p.m. to 10 p.m. So there's not much of a difference here, but just the idea that everything's tracking in from the northwest to the southeast. This will be roughly 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. It's not going to be this way and aggressive everywhere at the same time. And we'll go through that here in just a second. Elevated risk here of some 50-plus miles per hour winds as these storms start to collapse, and we'll get into that phase here in a second. I'll kind of explain how the hail forms as well coming up. Heavy rainfall, that's going to be a given. Lightning, pretty much elevated, but the large hail threat is fairly high with the storms tomorrow. Here's an hour-by-hour look. This is around 3 o'clock tomorrow. Data just coming in. What we'll see is an area of showers and storms kind of cluster and dive off to the east and southeast a bit, and these will be towards Albertville and Gadsden and Center. Keep in mind these could also be farther to the west as we carry on. So this is that initial round I was mentioning, and this will be followed by more numerous showers and thunderstorms you see down towards Coleman and up to Huntsville, Meridianville, and this will be probably the final boundary. In fact, there's two boundaries here you can see. One of them is down here south of Coleman towards Gadsden. You can see the wind arrows kind of all collecting there. And the main boundary is going to be up here from Meridianville, Hazel Green, Muscle Shoals, back to Red Bay. So very heavy rain associated with all of this. And then by 9 o'clock, I think most of the severe energy is going to be done with, and we're just looking at general thunderstorms and maybe some smaller hail with that. We clear out briefly, and I mean briefly. As we get into Friday, we start to see what we call those instability showers, a really cold air mass right above the top of us. So about 18,000 feet, the temperatures are going to be about 10 degrees below zero. So that's one of the leading reasons why we may see some hail out there too ahead of all this change. But what I'm getting at is we'll see some sunshine and we get what's called instability showers. We may even see what's called grapple. It looks like really soft hail is what it is, and it looks like Dippin' Dots. So we may see that and some downdrafts here, maybe some gusts to 40 miles an hour with that as this moves through the area. As far as the hail potential, I show you this. This is the model saying, here's where we may see some hail. This is all going to depend on where the stronger thunderstorms are going to lie as we go through the day tomorrow. But notice the possibility and a few areas, probable hail. And this is tracking the potential for large hail. So again, I want to emphasize, not everyone's going to see hail all at the same time. Not everyone's going to get hail damage. It's going to be along those tracks of those stronger thunderstorms where we see that. And I think the hail threat kind of maxes out as we get towards the 6, 7 o'clock time frame. Now here's the hail formation. This is how it goes. You get these strong updrafts going up into the storm, and these are going to be fairly steep lapse rates, what we call it. So that's going to increase the potential for hail. And also we've got quite a bit of shear, vertical shear going on, but there's not enough wind shear for tornadoes with this. I just don't see that happening. We've got what's going on is the updrafts are going to increase, so you get these raindrops that get carried up into the storm. They get run through these super cool water droplets. So you get hailstones that form, and basically it's like juggling. You get the hailstone that goes up in the air, it gets super cooled with water on it as it falls and then goes back up and it freezes. So if you've ever cut a hailstone in half, it's kind of like a tree. You got little rings in there, and that'll tell you how many times it's been through that updraft. So as these increase in size, the updraft no longer can support them, and therefore the larger the hail, the stronger the updraft in the storm, and the reverse of that, when the storm collapses, you get a stronger downburst from that, and that's how you get damaging straight line winds as these storms do collapse. So that's what we're going to be watching for. And overall, when the hailstones fall, again, it cools things off quite a bit. And the hail sizes, as far as what we're looking at, a majority will be this dime and penny size 3/4 inch hail tomorrow, but there will be some nickel. And the severe hail, if we get severe thunderstorm warnings, it's because the Weather Service thinks we're going to see some quarter size hail. That's when you start to get the damage from those hailstones. Again, mainly concerned with these dime and penny size hailstones tomorrow, but there will be some quarter size hail, and that's what we'll be watching out for. You can stay tuned here, and we'll have updates here, of course, at WFF.com. You find us there, our weather app, our news app, all of our digital products as well. But again, we don't expect an outbreak of severe weather. We're not expecting tornadoes, but we will see the possibility of some damaging straight line winds, and as I just mentioned, large hailstones.